Copy your stream key from below and paste it into your broadcast software. That's what I... Stream URL. Good evening, or I should say afternoon, LinkedIn friends. My apologies. This is our first LinkedIn Live, so we are navigating the process right now, but we're going to get started in just 1 minute. Thanks for your patience. All right. Thank you all very much for attending our first LinkedIn Live event. My name is John Collins. So today I'm going to go over why cold calling is costing you customers. We're going to go over, some of the repercussions, then the backlash that people are receiving from still continuing to do cold calling in an age where there's just so much technology trying to block you. So, and basically show you some of the success stories that I have. Basically leading with education right now seems to be what gets me in the door and proves to be the most successful route for me. So with that being said, I'm just going to dive right into it. All right. So the truth is, obviously cold calling is kind of a dying art. I actually have a lot of respect for people that are still trying it, because it is just it's a way that a lot of us in the business cut their teeth. So no question, you get a thick skin being a cold caller. But right now, unfortunately, the way technology screens calls, blocks calls, I can't tell you. I haven't done cold calling in probably over 15 years now. But the truth of the matter is, it's one of those things where I am fighting keeping my phone numbers legit, and I've got opt-in lists, so I can't even imagine the amount of people that, if they're still cold calling, how they're getting blocked and their phone numbers are turning into spam in a relatively short period of time. So with that being said, let's touch on some of the numbers that basically support things. So right now, less than 2%, that's a crazy number, less than 2% of people actually convert on phone calls. So incredible number. So you got to make 50 calls to just get one person. Really, really mind-boggling when you think about it. And 90% of decision makers actually are ignoring cold calls. So the other statistic that I don't know if we're going to run into here, but that I'm aware of, is that 70% of the people have already made their buying decision before they even reach out to customers. So when you start adding up all of these metrics, in my opinion, the only thing you're really doing is damaging your brand. Here's another one. It takes 18 dials just to connect with one potential buyer. Incredible number when you think about it. So how much time are people actually just wasting using all of these speed dialers and things like that, only to get 17 rejections, and then they might get one person on the phone? So really, really tough way to do business. Again, 2% average cold call rate success, and 90% of decision makers never even respond to any type of cold call outreach, and 18 dials in order to get through to one person. Crazy numbers when you think about it, but very, very enlightening. All right. Next thing, the hidden cost. These are things that people don't think about. How much time are they wasting doing this when, truth be told, you could probably come up with some good educational content to reach out to whatever demographic you want to hit on. So for me, I feel like AI is really changing the marketplace right now, and the old school techniques aren't necessarily working as well as I would have thought. I actually had a agent corner me on Saturday and asked, "Hey, what would you do to generate business if you're a new agent?" And I kind of stepped back and thought about where was it when I got in the business in 1987? And it's, 1987, we used to pick up the Bressers and, phone books, and that was it. You were dialing, and it was fairly effective. So, but nowadays, not even remotely close. Today, I feel like you almost need to specialize. At least that's what I'm doing. So I choose to connect first-time home buyers with different down payment assistance and grant programs. I tend to focus more on underserved communities, and I'll touch on that stuff later. But uh, I tend to go where I feel like people are heading and where the most amount of pain is. So I always tell people, find the pain, create a solution, and then implement some educational content, and I think you got the recipe for a pretty successful business plan, at least in real estate, possibly in the mortgage world as well too. So I spent bulk of my majority of my career was actually in mortgages. So that's how I learned to tap into a lot of the grants and down payment assistance programs I tend to connect people with. But I can't imagine the amount of wasted time that's actually out there with people. And then this is one I just didn't really think of was how are you damaging your brand? I mean, what does it take to get to have your basically your phone number blocked, or people start giving you bad reviews because they're tired of getting spam phone calls? So things that we don't think about, but just a couple of tags like that, and it's a pain in the neck to unwind. And then what kind of lost opportunities are out there for you if you just focused on, like I said earlier, find the niche that you want to be in, find the pain points for people inside that niche and deliver good educational content. And then maybe follow that up with, I follow it up with webinars. I mean, webinars, that's my jam. I started doing those about 4 years ago and never looked back. So being able to broadcast from one to many, I mean, that's eye-opening. And team morale and burnout. Imagine how many people that possibly step into the real estate world with the best of intentions, great mindsets, here to help, here to serve. Okay. This industry is in desperate need of people that really want to serve. You give me somebody that wants to serve, and we can build a model around that. So, so how many people get burnt out just because they're chained to the phones instead of doing that inbound marketing? I've been an inbound marketing guy for probably 12 years now. I've always liked to do it that way. I'd rather have my phone ringing than trying to make outbound calls. So I find that if you do that in masses and learn how to do it at scale with a one to many mindset, there's no end to the amount of opportunities that you can have on your inbox. The other side of it is, gosh, with the technology, think about all of the do not call list and all the other stuff that you've got to deal with. Oh my gosh, at least with the webinars, you get your A2P compliance in, or AP2, whichever that one is, but you're compliant with your phone number. And it's amazing how effective SMS marketing is right now, at least for me with my webinars. So I'm actually doing another webinar on Wednesday at 7 p.m. If anybody's ever interested with regards to what I do. You can actually sign up at owntheroof.com, regardless of where you are, just to get a feel for what is out there. Okay, not rocket science by any means, but you'd be surprised how many people you can get to dial into a webinar if you are providing a good, accurate educational solution without having a huge sales side of it. So for example, when I do my webinars, I don't sell anything. In fact, I tell them up front, sit back, relax. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to give you all the free educational content. And the reason I do that is when it comes time for them to make their buying decision, they call. That's just the way it is. The trust factor is off the charts when you take the selling pressure off of it. So at least that's my mindset, and it's in the numbers. So trust right now with marketing is everything. You get trust, hold it near and dear to your heart. That's something I would never violate the trust. And when the trust basically comes by giving that free educational content routinely, showing up week in, week out, and being there, whether they are ready to buy or not. You'd be surprised how many family members get referred to me for people that follow me consistently. Oh, my mom told me to call you. My aunt saw one of your webinars. That is a very popular conversation for me. Now, one thing let's go back on that last one. With regards to trust, it's something that can be earned very quickly as long as you don't compromise and try to sell to it. Now, the reputation damage, one bad phone call, one frustrated person because you've picked up the phone on a cold call and reached out and you've got a bad review. Again, it's just, there's no reason to even think about doing it in my mind, because you're going to spend time unwinding that bad review. So the other side of it is I find that sometimes people are trying to sell on social media and postings and things like that. Please do not sell in those places. You'll get turned off right away. I actually just moved away from social media. I should say, when it comes to the main ones like Instagram, Facebook, we post on it a couple of times a week, but that's just to keep the account going. Okay. We're not putting any big numbers up right now because the juice isn't worth the squeeze, in my opinion. Okay. Next thing, what a lot of the Gen Ys and Zs, they want to get as much information as they possibly can. Right now, I'd have to say in my opinion, the real estate world is actually in a pretty sad spot. When the average first-time home buyer is approaching 40 years old, something is broken. Okay. I personally feel that half of the people could buy, but maybe don't want the responsibility. And that's one conversation. And a lot of them might stay that way until I start to introduce the investment component to it. And when we start introducing the investment side of real estate to some of those first-time home buyers, I feel that gets them off the fence from the standpoint that if they feel like they're leaving a certain amount of wealth on the table by deferring that purchase, by 10 years, then that gets them off the fence. Okay. The other half of the population or segment, they want to, but don't know how or can't. And that's where the coaching and the educational content comes from on my side. Now, this could be applied to a lot of different sleeves inside the real estate world, and we'll touch on that in a little bit. Okay. So most buyers, in my opinion, are actually informed before they even start trying to find that salesperson or trusted advisor, as I call it. So 70% of them have done all of their homework. Now they're looking to align that homework with someone that they trust. So whether that's a trusted advisor they stumble across, somebody that's given them that good educational content along the way, that I don't know. But I do wholeheartedly believe that 70% of the people have already done their homework. And when they call me, They know the answers to the questions they're asking me. They just want to make sure that I align with those answers. So just keep it real as you possibly can. Independent researchers. Today's consumers, they prefer a self-guided experience. They know they can reach out to whatever platform they want. And now with AI, oh my gosh, it's absolutely crazy what they can extract from that. And it's going to get worse. It's going to change the way that we seek to get business and introduce value for the masses. So most people want that self-guided tour so they can explore all the options, read the reviews, and engage with you on their own terms. So please keep that clearly in mind. So they do not want the interruptible or interruption advertising. Okay. I still do it to some degree with regards to ads that I run, driving some people through. But the ads that I run are specific to certain pain points. So, for example, I shared with you, I tend to do webinars teaching people about down payment assistance programs and grants. So I go direct to the pain points. Are you tired of renting? Stop renting. Things like that. More from the Alex Hormozi approach. So great book. Once I added a lot of what Alex Hormozi preaches with regards to identifying and selling to that pain point, it's amazing how my cost per seat for the webinars just decreased quite a bit. Next thing, cold calls feel like an ambush. I know being in real estate, I still pick up my phone, but I dread it. Every time I pick up my phone, the few times that it doesn't say scam or spam on the inbound call, if it does get through and I pick it up and it's a salesperson, you just get ticked off. Okay. So keep that in mind. Okay. It does feel like an ambush. So, and they're more often than not even, you can tell by their accent, they're from another part of the globe. I respect what they're trying to do, but that trust factor is just not there. Okay. It's very rare. And sometimes if I have a moment in the car, I'll try to get a listen just so I can get some good takeaways. Because I'm always navigating and my head's always on a swivel, trying to look for different ways to introduce value and educational content to the audiences that I like to serve. So, but like I said earlier, trust to me is 100% everything. So their time is valuable. My time is valuable. Yours. It's the one thing we can't get back. Okay. So be respectful from it on all fronts. So, hey, if it's not a good time right now, when is a good time? Okay. Respect your buyer's autonomy. Nobody wants to be interrupted. Like I said, interruptible advertising is just, it doesn't work. Okay. Like I said, I still do it to some extent, but there are very, very specific pain points that I hit in order to keep people engaged on that side. So the credibility gap, that to me is everything. And that's what I tell people. That's what I do. I bridge that credibility gap. So if someone wants to buy a home, but they can't, boom, there's the gap. Whether it's because of credit, money, income. I mean, on my webinars, I always tell people, oddly enough, the money is the easiest part for people on my webinar. So that part's a pretty easy pitch for me. Okay. And I guess, it could be too. I mean, I'm always happy to share my playbook. So whatever you can do to bridge that credibility gap, that is everything. With regards to reputation, the damage, I mean, we went over that a little bit. One bad call can ruin your brand. Trust online reviews. Try to get your online reviews up there if you can. Okay. I actually go out to my audience, and I've never put any solace in reviews. Now, my gosh, I need to make a conscious effort to try and get my reviews over 100 in a relatively short period of time. So definitely something I need to do better at. And then intrusive leads and brand association. We've kind of touched on that quite a bit already. So, next one, what actually works for me? Educational content. Okay. The more education I throw out there, the better. In my mind, I want to give them all the dots they possibly can. They can obtain or absorb. From there, when it comes to connecting the dots, that's where I fit in. Okay, those missing pieces. Boy, all of these programs are out there. Here they are. How do I have access to them? Boy, you could fight and go through it, or I'll just pick up the phone and call John, or a whole host of things. Publications, webinars, coaching, courses. There's no end to what you can do for educational content. And now, the way AI can reign, oh my gosh. Now, don't necessarily take AI 100%, but definitely use it to lift 95% of what you're doing. Okay. So, like I said, when I do my webinars, I tell people right away, sit back, relax. We're not going to sell you here. 100% educational. You see some value in this, give me a call, set up a time, a call with me, and happy to map out your approach. Whether it's 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, doesn't matter to me. When you take that kind of pressure off of a conversation and know that it's going to be on their terms, you'd be surprised how many people will consider you that trusted advisor. Build warm lead channels by doing this. And this is not a overnight, this is a long haul thing. I find that there are a lot of channels out there. You can find them. Okay. I think that it's best to try and develop a couple of pillars of channels in any particular sleeve, or I should say pillar of business in real estate. So for example, again, I'm all about those first-time home buyers, but where are they coming from? Okay. Are they coming from webinars? Are they coming from other agents that are referring them over? Are they coming from housing commissions? Is another one. So I always challenge people, find where your passion is and just take a little bit of time, and you can pick out those channels very easily. Okay. And when you build them up, it's very easy to tap into them and make it rain when needed. Now, right now, my database is over, I don't say this posting, but it's over 15,000. So I send out one email and SMS message, and boom, I have 100 people signed up for my webinar. So for example, right now, I think I might have, 30 people signed up for Wednesday's webinar. And when we're done with this one, we'll hop on and send out an SMS message, broadcast email, and boom, we'll be up to 100 for Wednesday's webinar. It's very, very predictable. Okay. And if you don't have those types of databases built up, I mean, I started doing this 4 years ago and I wasn't doing it every week. Okay. If you have your message done right and place the ads with a level of pain that resonates with people in whatever area you want to go in, you'd be surprised. $5 a seat. Think about it. If it's going to take you $500 to put somebody on a webinar, so $500, you're going to have 100 people on your webinar. What kind of business do you think you'll get out of that? I guarantee you're going to come away with at least 3 or 4 deals. It's crazy. The numbers are there. You just need to set up the infrastructure. And if you need help with that, just schedule a call with me. I'm always the pay it forward type of person. So warm lead channels, lots of them out there. Build your own. Okay. And with that, you've got a permission-based marketing model. Permission-based, meaning that they're in line with you. Okay. I have permission to text these people. They've all opted in. Many of them have been on my webinar, sometimes not once, sometimes 3, 4 times. Sometimes, heck, people are around 3, 4 years now. It may not be the right time for them. Sometimes, remember I said it was hitting their pain points earlier. Maybe it was their pain point signed up 4 years ago, and then it just wasn't painful enough. And now it is. Now their landlord's selling the house, or maybe the roof's leaking and the landlord doesn't want to do anything. Okay. For me, I'm always fighting the rental market, which right now I'm located in southeastern Michigan. It is a brutal rental market. I know some of the numbers that came out last week saying that the rental market was softening. I think they said rental rates were going down by 7%. And that could very well be on the high end rentals. On the low end rentals, medium rentals, no, there's still a housing shortage of a couple million units in this country. So don't think that that's affecting the high end people. Okay, so I feel like there might be some compression for more of the high end people, but not on my side of it. Okay, education first. When you're doing it, you want to provide value. Okay, you want to give those real answers that can help people today. Okay, remember I said earlier, it's all about building trust. It says 2025, it's trust in 2026. That's just the way it is from now on. You got to build that trust. And it's got to be helpful content that they can enact and research. Okay. If they can go out and verify what John is saying and that, oh, wow, hey, you know what? I'm seeing this in a couple of different places. This guy's right. You'd be surprised how long people will actually follow you once they realize that you are that selfless person just giving things out. And more importantly, it positions you as the absolute expert in a space. Oddly enough, I get some people that come to me, and then I give them the information, and then they go to their family member who might be a real estate agent. And, the first reaction might, be, boy, that stinks. But when you think about it, it's an opportunity. You know what? Have your cousin, the agent, call me if he's having a problem getting this deal across the finish line or structuring it. This is where most people have issues, is structuring the transactions. So actually, I have it on my website where I teach people how to structure these transactions. It's not rocket science, but if you haven't worn the hat in the real estate world and in the mortgage world, it's hard to know where you can pick up all the pennies that are on the table to get people in to purchase a home with just a couple $1,000s out of pocket. Okay, so like I said, webinars drive engagement. If people think they're showing up to a webinar, and a lot of times people show up to a webinar and they're waiting for you to sell something, don't do it. As tempting as it might be, don't do it. Maybe on your initial webinar. I can't tell you how many times at the end of my webinars, people are like, hey, thanks a lot. I can't believe you didn't try to sell me anything. Okay. But I am getting some value out of it. I'm like, if you've got some value out of this webinar, can you do me a favor and go leave me a review? Crazy. That's all I want. And if you have any questions, it may not be today, maybe not tomorrow, but next year, if you need some help, just remember, they'll remember my webinar system and the way that I send out SMS messages. It really pounds on people, but I have researched it and asked them, hey, am I dripping on you too hard? And most people say, no, you're not. I need that type of reminders to keep me focused, because everybody's life, they're pulled in so many directions that I was questioning things with regards to how many times should I be reaching out to people before my webinars. Now it's crazy. The automated system that I work with, it will remind people the week before, the day before, the day of, an hour away. Webinar starts in 10 minutes. Hey, the webinar started 10 minutes ago. So there's no shortage of emails and SMS messages to make sure that we stay right in front of people. Okay. So as long as you are giving that type of educational content and not selling on these webinars, you'd be shocked. People give you a pass with regards to how often you can actually remind them. Also, the free resources inside these webinars just builds an incredible amount of trust. You are now an educator. Okay. So as long as, give them the free tools. I give people free tools to find the different down payment assistance and grants. I give them free books. I give them free courses. I give way too much for free probably, but you know what? It keeps the traffic coming inbound. Now, I make sure that people have to separate, they've got to put their email address and phone number in order to gain access to the stuff, but we're not hounding them right away. We're just going to drip on them slowly. Okay. Now, social media engagement, I think I shared with you earlier, I'm not a huge fan of this right now. I do it just to maintain things and keep that visibility out there, but I don't sell with it. And it's also nice to have some strategic partnerships to expand your reach out there. So think of different ways to expand things on that side. So again, stay with that permission marketing model that I mentioned earlier. Okay. Let them raise their hand when they're ready. Nurture your relationships over time with good educational content and be there when they're ready to buy, not when you need a sale. And trust me, I was that guy too. So, so from here, I want to give you a quick example because we are already running at the half-hour mark. I'm going to show you exactly what I do. This is my model, Own the Roof. It's my website. Find grants, very simple, 100% educational content, free everywhere, guided path, all free. So on this, you can go to the publications. I actually give these free books to everyone. I give them away in my webinar. Free program search. You want to see what programs are out there? Hey, just enter a property address. You'll see how many programs you qualify for. Again, free phone calls, free consultations, free webinars. If any of you are interested, hey, here's the, looks like Elena already put in Wednesday's webinar for free. So head right out. Sign up for my webinar. It'll give you a feel for what's actually, what I'm actually giving to people. Now, I feel like this model that I have, even though I'm highly focused on first-time home buyers, there's so many other places where we can go and take this model to it. And what I mean by that, gosh, I had somebody earlier today asking about, hey, can I use this for foreclosures? Heck yes. All I have to do is redo my website. Now, I was doing business before I even had this website. This website's new. We just launched this a couple of weeks ago. It took me about a year to get it to the point where we're comfortable launching it. But this could be done on the foreclosure side. It could be done on probates. Someone actually talked to me a couple of weeks ago with regards to divorce attorneys. There's actually a lot of pain in the divorce attorney world that is underserved right now. And there are solutions out there that are deep inside the mortgage guidelines that I feel like somebody could definitely build a model around that one. So lots of different ways that these things can all be done and applied together through webinars. Okay. The divorce person was actually asking me, hey, could you do a webinar to these divorce attorneys? And I was like, why not? I'd love to introduce value to different groups. So, so if you need any help on that side, always like to be that pay it forward guy. So, all right. That being said, let me answer any questions people have out there. Joe, back in the day when I was cold calling for an IT company, Joe, You're making it sound pretty old there. So, but I get it. Back in the day, yeah, 40 days kind of flies by in my book. But yes, Elena, thank you very much for posting that. Rizwan, hey, thanks for attending. All right, what kind of questions? This is my first webinar through LinkedIn, so I can't really see how many people we have on here, just what's going on in the comments. So, hey, if you please throw something in the comments if you have any questions at all, or if you'd like to book a call. Love paying it forward, love meeting like-minded people in the industry. Hey, Elena, would you mind putting this book a call link into, let's see. There we go. There you go. There's a link in the chat box. Book a free call with me. Always happy to share my playbook, what's working, what isn't working. I feel like we made a lot of errors along the way, but hey, that's it. You gotta break some eggs, right? So nice. Okay, I'm going to give it just a couple of more minutes because it looks like there is a delay between the actual feed through LinkedIn and my actual presentation. So, any questions out there? Now is your opportunity. And then I just put my link in there to book a call. Okay, while I'm doing that, the game plan going forward, we are going to do these lunch and learns a couple times a week. My goal is Monday, Wednesday. And we're going to start that in March. We will begin to stream all of my webinars through LinkedIn, as well as right now, if you're looking for some additional content, we have a decent library on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. I think Facebook Live deletes after 30 days, but YouTube Live is pretty good. Thank you, Elena. So please reach out there if you have any questions or want to go through any of the topics. Lots of tools that we help connect people with, whether it's the down payment assistance programs or all the publications or the training. No shortage of information. Again, we offer this all at no charge to our customers. Reason being, we're all about the inbound marketing and that educational content. So thank you very much. Approaching about the 40-minute mark, so a little bit long-winded here today on our maiden voyage, I guess, for lack of better words. So I want to thank you all for watching and hope our paths cross again real soon. Have a good day. Mr. Malone, doing well. I want to thank you. I appreciate Sunday, your sermons. So, yeah. So, I don't know if you can see how many people are attending, but very, very uplifting. So, I appreciate you pushing the message across. It's not, I challenge your sanity because, man, trying to do that and working and do everything else, I'm sure your life is pretty, I'm sure you don't have much time in your day, I'm sure. So, oh my gosh. I was I didn't know that. Oh my God! Thank God everybody's okay. Oh, sorry. That's like I mean I get too damn close to my pets. I'll admit that. Oh, right. Wow. Okay. You want to talk later? Hey, Ryan. I get it. Yeah, but